The day I was fired, the HR manager, Jen, stopped me at my desk, pointing at my laptop. "That's company property. Leave it." I scoffed and slapped a receipt from my drawer onto the desk. "Read it and weep. $3,200 in my name." With that, in front of everyone, I packed it up and walked out. Half an hour later, the police showed up at my door. The company had reported me for theft. I showed them my evidence. The way the cops looked at Jen, you'd think she was a complete idiot. By the next day, the entire tech park knew. My former employer, in a desperate attempt to score a free laptop, had earned itself the title of stingiest company of the year. After the police left, a dead silence fell over the office. It was a silence more piercing than any noise, making your eardrums ache. Every pair of eyes was a spotlight fixed on Jen's face as it cycled through shades of red, green, and finally, a ghostly white. She stood frozen, like a cheap wax figure on the verge of melting. I clutched my cardboard box, which held 3 years of my life and a $3,200 laptop, and walked step by step through the suffocating air. I didn't look back. I didn't say goodbye. The last shred of dignity between me and this company had been pulverized the moment they decided to call the police. The elevator door slid shut, sealing off the complicated stairs behind me. Reflected in the mirrored wall was a woman with black-framed glasses and a blank expression. That was me, Lynn. Back at my rental, I tossed the box in a corner without a second glance. The tension that had held me together finally snapped, and a tidal wave of exhaustion washed over me. I threw myself onto the sofa, not wanting to move, not wanting to think. My phone buzzed in my pocket. A message from my best friend, asking how I was. I replied, "Job's gone, don't worry," and switched to airplane mode. I needed quiet. I needed to process the sheer absurdity of it all. The next morning, I was woken by my phone vibrating incessantly. I turned off airplane mode, and 100 messages flooded in. There were cautious condolences from former colleagues. There were links to the office gossip from friends at other companies. Our company's name, paired with the headline, called the cops to steal a laptop, was exploding across the tech park's internal forums and anonymous message boards. The comment sections were a festival of schadenfreude. LMAO, Mr. Collins's cheapness has finally gone viral. I feel bad for the HR lady. Her performance review is going to be brutal. Not only did she fail to save the boss money, she got him the headline of the year. Don't feel too bad for her. That HR manager is no saint. They call her Jen the Hatchet Woman for a reason. Am I the only one curious about the specs on a $3,200 laptop? That girl is a legend. I stared at the screen, but the expected rush of vindication never came. Instead, I felt hollow, almost sad. For a company to become famous this way, how pathetic. And I was the star of this farce. I clicked on a link to an article on the Tech Park's news blog. It was a vivid, detailed account of yesterday's events. My name was omitted, but phrases like "stood up to HR," "slapped down the receipt," and "vindicated by the police" had turned me into the campus's most mysterious new legend. The phone's glow illuminated my impassive face. I bet Mr. Collins's office was a lively place right now. Sure enough, that afternoon, a former colleague who was still employed there sent me a secret message. "Lynn, Collins is losing it. He just smashed a mug in his office." Jen got screamed at so hard she cried her eyes out. "He said at the meeting that the fallout from this is too damaging and he refuses to let it go." I stared at the words, my fingers tapping the screen. What's he going to do? No idea, but he told Jen to find out who leaked the story. He also said he's going to teach you a lesson, that this kind of insubordination can't be tolerated. A lesson? Insubordination? A chill shot up my spine. They made the mistake, they suffered the humiliation, and somehow, I was the one in the wrong. I didn't reply. Putting down my phone, I opened a job search app and started updating my resume. Whatever happened, life had to go on.